Hey everybody, Chris Cooley here, artist of CMCreative Design, and this is another handy dandy tutorial. After WordPress, the second thing that I'm usually asked for is a Mailchimp tutorial for most of my clients. It's a way for you to keep in contact with a list or build a list, and this tutorial is for people who already have a Mailchimp account set up and some sort of an idea of what a list builder call to action is on your website. So I'm going to show you, if you go to Mailchimp.com and use your username and login, you can log right in with the proper login. There we go. And what you will first see is a dashboard. It's going to show you the statistics, in most cases, for the last campaign that you created and sent out to your email list. So in this case, I sent one out. It had 25% open, 19 clicks is pretty good, pretty average. 10% is good depending on your list size and who it's targeted to. So on the top here, you'll see a series of buttons, campaigns, templates, lists, report and automation. I'm going to just first go to lists. This is the place to start because this is where you will create and update and manage the lists of people that you want to send emails to. So in this case, I have a LinkedIn, a fun report. You'll see that there's a number of subscribers here, and it shows the average of how that list did, or I should say, how many times those people opened or clicked emails. So let's just click on the fun report, and this will give you a breakdown of the list. Now, please don't, send any emails to people on this list. I'll try and browse through it quickly, but you'll see all the people on this list, and you can sort through pages. There's 108 people. This is my master list, my compiled list. So what I'm going to do here is just show you how to add people. You can add people one at a time by going add subscribers, add subscriber. And underneath that, you will enter their email address, their first name, their last name. This is to do it manually. I'm also going to show you at the end of this how to import a list, which is really slick. So you're going to have to say that these people gave permission. If if they're friends or family or really close clients, then you might want to just plug them in, and that might be cool with them. If you're at all hesitant about it, you're going to want to use a sign up through an email or a website so that people can actually opt in. And in that case, you're going to actually use this button here called Sign Up Forms. Now, Sign Up Forms allow you to design and embed in a website these, there's other ways to integrate it. I'm only going to get into just building it here. And what you've got is different options for different platforms. So if you're plugging it into a website or just sending it out to a list, there are different options. But if you click select on general forms or just click general forms, either one will let you edit. You'll see that there are a bunch of options here. And in these options, you will be able to create certain levels. So you've got unsubscribe form, and you can design each one of these things. So you've got a sign up form with alerts, sign up form, thank you page, opt-in confirmation. Now, you're not going to use all of these, but it does. I wanted to show you. It's just so you can see the main design. So this would be if this would be your sign up form, the main template. You're going to see that you get all kinds of options here. This is the design. You can add different boxes. So if you want to require someone to, tell you, let's just say, if you wanted to find out if they're male or female, right? So you could call this field sex of a person, and then you could make it required. You could then give them help options and explain, are you a guy or a girl? I don't know. But then, you can also add choices. So male, and this might not be, you might want to do a drop down so they can only pick one or the other, but I just, for example purposes, I'm going to show you this. Female and other. And then if you save that field, you'll see that it's plugged right into the form itself. Now you can send this form, you can you can actually send people to this link right here directly, and they will go to this form. Or you can send them that link in a tweet or a text, excuse me, however you want to do it. You can also design this form. So you'll see you get some options of body. You get the page itself, so you can change the background color. I'm just going to use some random colors. And you can also, if you want, make a place a header in here. So if you want to use an image instead of text, you can, just like if you're going to attach an image to an email or something, you can just click upload, and you've got all kinds of options here. You can just upload it that way. I've already got some images plugged in, so I can just use, this header here, and you can resize things. You can also use place a link in here, so when somebody clicks on that header, they go to a website. But I'm just going to leave it blank, save it, and just show you how that drops in. So there we go. Now we got a nice header for our sign up sheet. And if you just click on these fields, you'll be able to edit content. So content goes here. And just like in WordPress or a Word document, you can insert images to this. You can make links. So if I wanted to add a link like here, just go www.link.com and insert, and you'll see that becomes a link. The other thing that you can do is just bold, italic. So make sure that you save it before you close it, and you'll see that I will have a personal message right here, and there's a link that I can add into it. Now, same editing tools and format goes for the rest of Mailchimp, which I'll show you in just a second. But this is a list. So you would potentially send them a link in an email or put it on your website. They would fill this out and then subscribe to your list. And then what's going to happen is they would get on this drop down, they would get an opt-in confirmation email, right? So the cool thing about the designs that we just plugged into the sign-up form, it's going to apply to the rest of these as well. So you don't have to worry about consistency. It's all going to be built in, which is really nice. But you can add your own little message here. So when somebody clicks subscribe on the sign-up form, they're going to get this email, and then they're going to double opt-in. So instead of just manually adding people to your list and saying, well, I hope this person likes what they get, you can actually allow them to opt in themselves. And this happens all automatically as well. You're going to want to run through a test first, which I'll show you how to do in just a second. So that's the list. I also want to show you just really quick, if you wanted to create a new list, like you didn't have one here, in the top right you got this create list button. And what you'll be able to do is just walk through those dialog boxes and name the list, title it. This from name is going to be when somebody receives an email from this list, what they see. So if you want to put your name or what you do or your business, that's where that would go. And the default from email is going to be from you, so that if they wanted to respond, that's where it goes. You can also pick what kind of notifications you want. I usually just do unsubscribe. I like to know when people leave. It's not a bad thing. It just means that my list is becoming stronger. So that's the list. Let me show you a campaign. So a campaign is the term that we use that they use in Mailchimp to help define an email blast, right? So what you would do is up in the top right, you're going to create a campaign. You see these are my other campaigns, and it shows how they did. I do a regular old campaign, select that, and you pick which list you want that to go to. So I'm just going to pick this top list. There's a way to segment lists. That's a little more advanced. Just do your entire list, and you can break them down into different lists with different people. Next. So this gives you all the options. Name your campaign. That's going to be for you. The email subject, you want to be a little more specific. That's what people are going to see when they get the email from you. And then you can add in your from name, your email address. You can also you can watch this by tracking it. I would recommend that. You can also do social media, tweet or post. I don't necessarily recommend doing this because these mailings are customized to the people on your lists in somewhat of a way. So when it goes out to social media, it's not as customized, and to me, it's just kind of like a cool, Chris did something, right? Like nobody really pays that much attention to it. But if you take the content that goes out in these email blasts and you break it up and put it on a blog or post it on social media individually, then it's much more effective, in my opinion. So we've got all this filled out. Go to the next thing. I've got to enter a subject. Okay. Everything's good. Now I get to pick my layout, so this gets a little more detailed. I tend to go with 1 and 3 column, so I'm just going to stick with what I do. It's a nice layout, gives you the option to do smaller articles and break that down. So here's your editing suite, I guess we'll call it. And all you're going to do is actually click on these areas and you have the ability to edit. So for a header, you can just browse an image. I've already got some uploaded. You probably want to upload a couple of different things and then you can have a variety. I'm just going to use that same one that I used in the sign-up form. And then you can click on all the content. So over here on the right, you've got Mailchimp's great. It kind of walks you through everything. This is a little preview of the content. You can click to view the email in a browser. You've got content that's somewhat formatted already. But again, when you click on that, it gives you all the options here of how to edit the text. So just like Word, you can center, justify. You can add anchors. If you're familiar with all that, you can change the color of the font. But you can also change the colors in the overall major style template. So make sure that you save and close anytime you're editing on the text, and you can see that you get all these different containers, right? So if I wanted to add a social media follow, I just drag that over, and I can put that anywhere I want, right? See how that pops up, and then you've got your options here. So here's my Facebook page, the text. It's really pretty slick. So you can also go to Style and change the background. This is all within that container box. So until I save and close that, I'm going to be working on whatever container I'm clicking on or editing. This little pencil lets you edit too. You can also duplicate the containers. This plus right here, you'll see, just makes a complete duplicate of the other one above it. Trash that, delete it. Yep, sounds good. So if I'm out of the module, like I'm not clicked on the module, I'm not editing the module, I actually have design options for the full emailer. So on the page options, I've got background color. Well, I'm doing red today. That's kind of weird. It's a red day. So save that, and there's all kinds of different. I can do a border around the top. I've got text color options. Just keep with the red theme. And I can choose the font weights. I mean, there's a lot here to play around with, but this, you'll see, this is a heading color, so this will probably adjust that. Save it. None of those are heading too. Anyway, you'll see my point here. You can just really get into a lot of details, and what's nice about this is that it actually changes the styles globally, so you don't have to go into each little edit box and change the color. You can, which will override any of your settings, but these settings are global, which is really nice. So anyway, you create your campaign here, your designing your campaign, then go to next. So when I'm ready to go, you'll see everything's checked that should be checked. I can go back and edit if I need to. You're not like sending anything out just yet. But it shows you your subject line, all of the little check boxes that you should have. Don't worry about the social cards. That's just telling me that I'm not posting to Facebook. The one thing you do want to check is this plain text email. If you copy a campaign to duplicate one, to make another one that's similar, the plain text sometimes won't be copied over. So you may want to make sure that you edit that, and you can regenerate from your current HTML. So that will update everything if you click that bottom right box. I'm good here. And then down at the bottom, I should be able to default header content. So once I see now it's telling me there's an error and it won't let me send anything. So the header content I would need to change from the default. This thing. Just do a test. Next. All right, so now we're good to go. And what I can do, I can send it immediately, which I'm not going to do because I don't like the red background. But I can click schedule. So this is where I will, if you wanted to, you could send your campaign right away if you're totally set. What I would recommend before sending anything though is to do a preview or a test email. Send a test email to yourself right here, and that will actually allow you to check the links, check the content, read it over. So you just send a test. It'll go to my email, and I can double check it. You can send it to other people too. You can send it to, I think, as many people as you want. But when you're ready to go, you set up this schedule, and you can set a time. There are paid features for this, so you can do different batches. But yeah, just pick a time. Do 12 on the 30th, and schedule your campaign. Click that button down in the bottom left. So rock on. Love it. Everything's good to go. I'm scheduled to launch on the 30th. I am going to go back in and stop that from going because of my ugly template that I just created. But yeah, it's great. So let me just show you one other thing I forgot to mention in the list section. So if I wanted to break down the list, let me show you a couple things just to edit people within the list. So you can delete people in bulk, right? So you can unsubscribe people just by clicking on their name over here or deleting them. The other thing you can do is move them or copy them. Remember that if you move them, you're going to move them completely out of this list. But if you wanted to select 4 people from one list and 25 from another and make a brand new one, you could copy them. What you would do first is make a new list. Create list. New. Yeah. And it might make me change a bunch of stuff before I can actually create a new list, but let's see if it lets me. Yeah. Bear with me just a second here. Save that. Makes me do. I'm just going to use. Makes you change all the defaults so that you're doing things a little more customized, which is nice. So I've got my new list, and you'll see there's no subscribers in here. No subscribers. So if I go back to my main list, see new 000, and I pick this and I move a couple people. I can just copy the first 4 people, and then under actions I would copy them. I don't want to move them because I still want them in this same master list. But if I go to new, it says, yep, you're about to copy. Cool. And then it will tell me that it's in process, and you should see. Sometimes it takes a little while. Yeah, there's my 4 subscribers, but it hasn't taken any out of the list. So if I wanted to go to my fun report, I could pick a couple people from here. Boom, 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 boom. And do actions, copy to list, new, confirm, and if we look, now there's 8 in the new. So that's really neat. I mean, it's a manual way of adjusting your list. I think it's great. I'm just going to go ahead and delete all this stuff. And you'll see, are you sure? They make you actually type in delete in this case because, that's quite a valuable resource to be just deleting randomly. So that's the way Mailchimp works. If you ever had any questions, you can feel free to reach out to me. And if you are a client, you know how to get a hold of me already. One really cool trick before I go, and I almost forgot about this, so glad I didn't because this is really neat. A colleague of mine showed me about this just a couple weeks ago, actually. So if you have a LinkedIn account and you have, I don't know, I have 451 connections. That's pretty good. LinkedIn allows you to actually export the list, and this is a way of importing. I'm going to show you how to export and import lists into Mailchimp, which can be really helpful if you have them saved digitally. So what I've got is connections in LinkedIn. And under these connections, there's a little setting gear over in the top right. If I click on that, LinkedIn will actually allow me to not only sync these contacts, so if you're a LinkedIn junkie, you can do that there, but I can export my LinkedIn connections. And what I want to do is export them as a CSV file, right? That's like an Excel, it's like a Word. In this case, it basically just breaks it down in information down into columns. So I'm going to just export it as a CSV. And here's my verification. So that's going to download for me. And, yep, save it. So once that downloads, I will be able to actually upload this into my list. So back into Mailchimp, looks like it's going to open in Excel. Take just a second here. So these are all my connections from LinkedIn. Now, this is one of those things, are you really close with your connections on LinkedIn? If you send them an email blast, are they going to be totally ticked off at you? Or, will they be accepting and enjoy the content that you send? So make sure that you're not peppering people with crap, because they don't like that, and you're probably going to lose a lot of credibility that way. So, when I think of something that's really not crucial, but just something that people aren't going to benefit from, I'll send that out to a full list. So what I can do here is just want to delete that campaign that I scheduled to go out before it does, and I forget. All right, great. So under lists, I am going to click on, I should have kept that new list. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to make a new list. Again, good practice. Create a new list. Create list. Test. Test.com. Test. And reminder in. It's pretty easy. So easy, actually. So there's my new list. Maybe. Okay, here's my new list. So what I'm going to do under add subscribers, remember we went here and we could do it manually one at a time? Well, right underneath that is an import option. So if I import, you get to see all these options. So, if you know about Zoho, like I have a Zoho email account for one of them, you can import your email contacts. Might be worth it just to mess around with, see who you get in there. But again, remember, you don't want to pester people or have them wonder why they got into your list. Close friends, family, colleagues, I think most people are cool with that. They want to hear about what you're doing, but strangers and buying lists, I don't recommend that. It's a lot of work. And it's kind of nasty. I don't know. I don't like getting emails from random people. Do you? So anyway, there's my little rant. So here's the CSV file, and if I look for that, I save that on my desktop, LinkedIn, Outlook. So if I open this file, make sure that you download it, know where it went to, and then I upload the list. What you're going to see is a bunch of columns. So there's tons of columns that LinkedIn creates. Most of them are blank, but you have to go through these, and so I'm going to skip through them. This one, though, is the first name, so I want to save that. The next, nothing, skip. Next one, last name. Mailchimp's really, really smart like that, right? They've already plugged in last name columns, and all that information is updated. So save that. So see, last name's been saved. Will not be imported if I skip it. Skip, email address, save, right? Skip, and then everything goes on from there. So skip, you have to go through this whole list. There's like 50 of them. But it takes 2 or 3 minutes. Just do it, and then you've got your people. I'm not gonna. Skip all. Maybe I can. Maybe you don't have to go through all of them. Yeah, looks like you can just skip all the rest. Cool. Learn something new every day. There are some columns that maybe you do want to put in that Mailchimp does produce, like the company, the job title. I don't know, not that important if you know who the people are. So then I'm going to complete the import down here in the bottom left. And it's going to take some time. I think it'll email me when it's done. Email me when done. Yes. And then back in the lists, yeah, it actually is working really quickly. So I've got 451 contacts. So if I click on the list and then I check, you'll see everybody's been imported here. So that's a really great way to build your list, as long as the people that you have connected on LinkedIn are really, connected to you in a higher way than just hey, we met on the street and I gave you a business card, because those people probably don't want to get pestered with emails from some stranger. Anyway, that is a Mailchimp lesson, and geez, that gives you the whole rundown of what things look like. There's a lot of other options in here. Really powerful tool. I'm not going to get into it now, but that gives you the basics. And again, if you need me for anything, you know where to find me, probably, if you're watching this. If not, again, this is Chris Cooley, and we'll talk to anybody. So thanks for listening. Hope it was helpful, and I will talk to you all very soon. Thanks. Bye.